So these connectors, when you're doing this with Tank, you have to be careful because it's the edible size for her. Oh, hey, she'd poop it out. Wash it off and you can use it.
No one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it.
On our back deck, we have these little accent lights that were put in when Dale first built the deck. And I really like them, but a few of them burnt out, and now these specific ones are no longer available. So Dale has been replacing them. Now, in case he dies before I do need to know how to replace them for the future if one or two of them blow out. So he's going to show us how to do that today.
As Fawn mentioned, the deck's been around for a while, so we're coming up on our 7th anniversary, and I built it a couple years before that. As my good pal Jerry said, this was my proposal to Fawn, was building this deck. So we're somewhere probably around 9 years, these lights, so they're starting to go out. Now the problem is as mentioned, the brands change, so the connectors change, and that becomes problematic. So what I've done is made it so that it doesn't matter what happens, you can always change this to the same low voltage light. So the ones that we put in here are pretty straightforward, and every hole, or not every hole, sorry, a lot of the lights that come out all fit in a 1-inch socket. So to take these out, they're spring loaded, so you pull them out. Now I've replaced this one already, so you can see that's a 1-inch hole. So most of these lights that you buy fit a 1-inch hole. So even 5 years after my demise, the light might look a little different. You're going to still be able to attach it to this system with the same voltage. The big thing now is just being mindful of how we pull the wires out. So you saw when I took the light out, it was hanging off the 2 wires. So let's take a look at what we have to pull through and to get the wires to our access point. So we pulled the wires out, and now you'll feel a little bit of tension, and all that is the connector coming up. Now you might have to put your finger in here and just kind of wiggle it around a bit, but you'll be able to pull it out. Now you can see this handsomely taped up connector is here, and then we'll do the same with the other one. We'll kind of get our finger in here, wiggle it around a bit so that we can pull it out. So now we've accessed the connector. So you can see that was the original wires for the original lights, and now we're connected to the new lights. So I'm going to remove the black tape, and then we'll move on to the next step. So these little orange connectors that we have here work really great because they're simple to use. So you can see there's just this little lever that pulls up, then you can slide the wires in, and then you put these down, and then they're connected. Then we just cover them with black tape. So this allows you to be able to use any type of light as long as it's the 5 voltage, which most are. So this is the new light that we're going to replace this one with. So all we're doing is taking this off. Now the ends that are on here, we're not going to worry about, right? So all we're going to do now is cut them off because we're making this agnostic to whichever type of light we're going to use. So I've just cut those off now, and we've got wires. Now these are 22 gauge wires, so this is fairly small. We take our our side cutters, and we just cut in between the 2 wires, and they're actually designed so that you can do this, and you can see it just pulls it apart like those licorice, the pull licorice.
Ooh, I love that stuff.
Yes, this is the black version of it.
Except I can't have it anymore. Not gluten-free.
Not gluten-free. So for those of you that saw the story about the number 2 Robertson, I got these around the same time, so they've been with me a long time. So you can see along here it says 22 to 20, 18, 16, 14, 12, 10. That's the gauge. So this is 22 gauge. So we're just going to push this in here. We'll squeeze this, pull it, and our wire is nicely stripped. So we're going to do that for all 4 ends. So all 4 of our ends are stripped. I'm just going to twist them. And on the side of this, I'm not sure if you can see that. See there's a measurement there? Mm-hmm. All you're doing is trying to make the copper part that length. So we strip these a little bit long. So we're just going to bend them over on the end. I'll give it a nice little butt on the end, and they're going to be good to go now. So we're ready to install this one, which makes it the easy part. So history lesson, like we always do, is, Edison actually didn't invent the light bulb. You know that, right? It was invented almost 80 years before he did. What he did do, though, was actually invent the commercially viable light bulb. That's what he invented. It was actually with bamboo and tungsten is what his first light was. But he did invent, the whole ecosystem in the house, lights, plugs, like that whole thing. That's what he was known for.
Cool.
So doing this is like plugging it in. So you notice that on this, there's writing on one and lines on the others. That's the polarity, because these are LEDs, like a light emitting diode. The diode works in one direction and not the other, so polarity matters. So all you have to worry about is when you're replacing these, you can see this one here has the lines. I'm going to replace it with the lines. This one here has the words. I'm going to replace it with the words. And then you're maintaining polarity. So I'm just going to pull this little lever up, and I'm going to pull this one out. And then we said that was the one with the line. So because I made that the right length, I push it in until it stops, and now it's connected. And I'll go over to the other one, pull that one out, push this one in. And it's done. I just go over to the other side, do the same, matching up. There you go. So I'm going to go over and turn it on and see if we did everything right. The light should come on.
Okay. Nice, it worked.
Et voila.
Et voila.
Now that we know that they work, I'll wrap it up in black tape, slide it back through the hole, and we're done. Simple as that.
Why do you need the black tape?
Well, this is fairly protected underneath the deck because it's under the deck, but moisture can get in there and start things to corrode. So all we're trying to do is make it nice and tight. If we lived in LA, we probably wouldn't even need to do that.
Nice.
Cut, cut, cut.